Black enrollment at several Ivy League universities dropped this fall. That's after steady increases over decades. Analysis by the Associated Press shows the decrease 2 years after the Supreme Court prohibited affirmative action as a factor in admissions. The decline coincides with the president scrutinizing elite colleges and their policies. Now, there is one exception of these elite schools, Smith College. The number of black students enrolled there has risen. Joining me now is the Vice President of Enrollment at Smith College, Joanna May. Thank you so much for being with me. So the AP looked at 20 schools and they found a decrease from 2023 to 2025 of black students in the freshman class, except for Smith. You see, we'll put the numbers for Smith up, the increase there. To what do you attribute that outlier status? What are you doing that the others are not?
Well, I think it's a testament to Smith as an institution and to the admissions staff and how they articulate the value of Smith education to students. We overall enrolled one of our largest classes in history this year in one of our most selective admission cycles. We actually had a similar number of black applicants to past years and admitted slightly fewer black students this year, but our yield on black students, so the number of admitted students who chose Smith, increased significantly. And the reasons that happened, I think, of course, are very individual for every student and family. But I think that as a whole, the students are looking for college, the kind of college environment that Smith provides, and that our mission resonates with students, particularly students of color.
Let's put up some of the comparable schools here and the decreases from 2023 to 2025. Columbia in 2023, 20% of their freshman class was black. 13% this year. Harvard, 18% versus 11.5. Princeton, 9% in 2023, 5% this year. Diversity at the Department of Education has become in some ways a dirty word. And there are universities or schools that are shy of using it. I've read some of the interviews you participated in, even internally within the school, and it's a word that you all don't shy away from. Do you believe that this outlier status and your attention to diversity makes you a target?
I think we're staying focused on Smith, and we're thrilled with the increased diversity of the class. You know, we were founded 150 years ago at a time where women were not allowed to attend elite colleges and universities, and so that mission of access and academic excellence has been a hallmark of Smith from the beginning. And I think students are connecting to that more now, perhaps given the political moment. But I think we're just staying focused on us and we're following the law that was established by the Students for Fair Admission decision. We don't consider racial classification in our admissions process, but we still strive to enroll a diverse student body and diverse across every different metric, not just race and ethnicity, but geography, socioeconomic background, academic interest, extracurricular talent. Because we know Smith is a better and stronger place when students are exposed to people who are different from them.
And so you say you don't consider race in admissions, as is prohibited by law now after the ruling from the Supreme Court. But the president and the administration have been zeroing in on some of those racial proxies, as they say it, the ways to get to the question of race without asking it explicitly. And you also say that you are not using those.
Correct. We actually don't get access to the racial demographics of the applicant pool, either for individual applicants or for the pool as a whole, until after the student is enrolled. And so we don't really know what the diversity of the class or the pool is until that information is revealed over the summer once the class is closed. We've always strove to enroll a socioeconomically diverse student body. We offer one of the best financial aid programs in the country. We meet the full demonstrated need of every student, and we do that with grants and not loans, so our students are able to graduate debt-free. We just announced a new financial aid initiative called the Next 150 Pledge in honor of Smith's 150th anniversary, where students coming from families who make up to $150,000 annually can actually attend tuition-free. And many of them qualify for aid and access to that. And that helps all students, helps all low-income students, including students of color and other students as well.
Joanna, I know that several times in our interview you said we're focused on us, we're focused on Smith, we're focused on what we do. But let me ask you to look a little beyond your own campus and some of these other schools where we're seeing the drop off of black members of freshman classes after the end of affirmative action. And there are some opponents of affirmative action who say, see, this evidences that there were members of these classes, there were admissions of black students and other students who were elevated to schools and positions that they weren't qualified for. And because affirmative action is no longer the policy, those students are not being enrolled at the same rates. What would you tell someone who believes that we're seeing this decrease at the other schools because of the end of affirmative action, and affirmative action was bringing in people not based on merit?
I think that's a false narrative, and actually, if you look at students, all students, even students who are first generation college or low income or students of color, they actually do equally well at most schools to other students. So I think the diversity of the student body is really important. And we've always, even prior to the SFFA decision, race was only one factor of many. First and foremost, we are bringing students who are academically prepared and qualified, and also students who we think are going to contribute to the student life community and extracurricular community of our colleges. And that's what we're trying to do.
All right, Joanna May of Smith College, thank you for the conversation this morning. Enjoy the Sunday.